Hello and welcome to All Things Knitty. This week's stitch is this beautiful and super easy stitch called the Granny Cluster stitch. It changes colour each row, so you will be left with lots of ends to sew in. If you don't want to do that, you can just do it all in one colour and you get the pattern, but it's a wee bit harder to see. To begin this pattern, you're going to be using a 4.5mm hook and chaining an even number. So whatever row, whatever colour you want the single crochets to be, that's the colour you begin with. So I am going to show you how to do it changing colours, and if you don't want to do it, you can just continue doing it all in one colour. So with your 4.5mm crochet hook, you're going to chain an even number. I've just got 20 here to show you, and I'll just zoom in and then we can begin. Okay, so we're going to skip the first stitch. So second chain from hook, we're going to skip. We're going to begin in the third chain from our hook with a single crochet. Okay, and that just starts your row. Now we're going to begin our repeat. So every row starts with just a single crochet, then we begin our repeat. In the next stitch along, you're going to single crochet. You're then going to chain one. We're going to skip one. So we'll skip this whole stitch, and in the next stitch, work a single crochet. Chain one, skip one, work a single crochet. Chain one again, skip one, and a single crochet. So you're going to do that right across the row until you've just got one stitch left, and we'll pick back up and we'll work it together. So single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, till you've just got one stitch left, and I'll show you how to end the row. Okay, so we're going to end our foundation row with a single crochet in the last stitch, but this is where we change colour. So if you're doing it all in one colour, just carry on, but if you're going to change colour, this is how you do it. So begin your single crochet, and when you have two loops left, introduce your new colour, leaving a long tail for sewing in later. So cut your working yarn and leave a tail. Introduce your second colour by making a small loop and pulling through the two stitches that you have left. To begin our pattern row, we're going to chain 4, but before doing that, take your tails from your new colour and your previous colour and bring them to the back of your work before chaining, and that just holds them for sewing in later. So pattern row 1 begins with a chain of 4 in your colour, and then we turn our work. So these are our tails from earlier. You can just put them to the side. We're going to be working into the chain spaces that we made earlier on. So here's our chain spaces, just here. So not the single crochet, we're working in the chain space. And this is where we're going to begin our double crochet 3 together cluster. So I will show you that. To begin, you're going to yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through. Once you have 3 loops on your hook, pull through the first 2 and stop. You're then going to do that a second time, yarn over, go into the same chain, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, pull through just the first 2. We have 3 loops now. We're going to do it for a third time. Yarn over, go into your chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we have 4 loops on our hook. we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops, and that's a double crochet 3 together cluster. So this is the stitch that we're going to be using throughout. You're then going to chain 1 and repeat that right across the row. So skip the single crochet, and in the chain 1 space, you're going to do your double crochet 3 together cluster. So yarn over, insert, pull through the first 2, do it a second time, pull through the first 2, yarn over, go in for the third time, pull through 2. Once you have 4, yarn over, pull through all 4, and chain 1 to finish. Skip the single crochet, and in the chain space, I'll show you it one more time before you carry on and finish the row. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through 2, go in for a second time, yarn over, pull through just the first 2, yarn over, go in again, pull through the first 2. Once you have 4 stitches, you're going to pull through all 4 and chain 1. So continue doing that all the way across the row until you have 1 chain space and a single crochet remaining. So continue working in your chain space here, here, here. Sometimes you have to just separate to find the space, but do that right across the row, working your chain, your double crochet 3 together cluster, and I'll show you how we finish this row. Okay, so you've done your last cluster, and we have a chain space and our single crochet. Because of the chain that we did at the start of the row, we're going to match that up by skipping 1, and in the very last stitch you're going to work a double crochet, but we're going to change colour again back to our cream for our single crochet row. So to do that, yarn over, go into the very last stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Once you have 2 loops, you're going to cut your working yarn, leaving a nice tail, reintroduce the cream, again leave a nice long tail so you can sew it in later, bring the cream through those 2 loops, and again you will bring both the tails over your working yarn to the back, and that just holds them, and we're going to begin our single crochet row. So to do that, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. So in this very first stitch here at the top of our double crochet, we're going to work a single crochet, and this is how you'll do the pattern from now on. You're going to begin with a single crochet in the first stitch, then in this large gap right underneath the stitch, so you're not going into the stitch, you're going into the chain space, you're going to work another single crochet. Okay, you're then going to chain 1, and now working in between these 2 clusters, so where my finger is, you're going to work a single crochet in between the clusters. Chain 1, again in between the cluster, single crochet, chain 1, in between the cluster, single crochet, and you're going to do that all the way across the row and finish just before. So finish here and we'll work the end of it together. So chain 1, single crochet between the cluster, and I'll get you at the end of the row. Okay, so you've done your last single crochet and a chain 1. Into this space here, the chain space, you're going to work a single crochet, and then to match up with the single crochet we did at the top of the double crochet, in the chain from the previous row here, so you have your chain of 4, 1, 2, 3, and the 4th is under here. Into that third stitch up, you're going to work a single crochet through the stitch. So you're going right through the stitch, make sure you have your V, and then complete your single crochet. If you're changing colours, you're going to change now. So once you've got 2 loops, you're going to reintroduce your colour. So cut your working yarn, the cream, leave a nice tail, reintroduce your colour, leaving a tail, bring your tails to the back of your work, so bring it over your working yarn to the back, and then begin again by chaining 4. So that's your 2 rows that you're going to repeat. So I'll just show you how we begin the cluster row. Chain 4 and turn your work. Okay. So just above your last cluster, in the chain space here, you're going to work your 3 double crochet together cluster. So pull through 2, go back in, pull through just the first 2, and again. Once you have 4, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1, skip the single crochet in the chain 3, skip the single crochet, and in the chain 1 space, work your 3 double crochet together cluster. And you're going to do that all the way across the row until you are here, and I'll just show you one more time. So skip the single crochet here, in the chain space, work your cluster, in the chain space, cluster, 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 all the way across, and I'll get you at the end of the row. Okay, so we still have a chain space and a single crochet. To finish row pattern row 1, you're going to skip the chain space, and in the last you're going to work a double crochet. If you're changing colours, you're only going to work the first part when you have 2. Again, snip your working colour and reintroduce cream. Leave a tail, bring it through, put your tails over the working yarn to the back of your work, and chain, put it over to the back and chain 1. Back to the single crochet row where you work a single crochet in the first stitch, then a single crochet in the chain space, chain 1 in between the clusters, single crochet, chain 1 in between the cluster, single crochet, chain 1. You do that all the way across the row, and then repeat those 2 rows till you are finished. You're going to finish on a single crochet row. So once you've finished a single crochet row, come back and I'll show you how to do the nice border. So change to your 3.5mm crochet hook and take whatever colour you want. So I'll just use the purple here just now. You're actually going to turn your work and begin in the top here of this bar that runs sideways. So turn your work on its side and introduce your yarn through the stitch, and then with the tail and the working yarn you're going to chain 1. Okay, so under this bar, to do the border, you're going to slip stitch, work 2 half double crochets and a slip stitch. Okay, so slip stitch, 2 half doubles and a slip stitch. You're going to skip the single crochet row, and in this under this bar you're going to do the same, slip stitch, work 2 half double crochets and a slip stitch. When you get to the corner, you're going to work in the very last single crochet of the corner. You're going to slip stitch, then work 3 half double crochets into the corner. So 1, 2 and 3 half double crochets, then slip stitch again. Now working into the chain spaces underneath here, you're going to work your slip stitch, back to 2 half double crochets, 1, 2, and a slip stitch. In the next chain space here, you're going to work a slip stitch, 2 half double crochets, and another slip stitch. Do that all the way across the bottom of your row, and I'll show you how to do the corner again. So you're at the corner again, into the last single crochet here, you're going to work a slip stitch, 3 half double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, then another a slip stitch. So the corner is slip stitch, 3 half doubles and a slip stitch. You're then going to go under this bar here, and you're going to work a slip stitch, 2 half doubles and a slip stitch. Skip the single crochet row, under the next bar, slip stitch, 2 half double crochets and slip stitch. Then work your corner. In the corner, right in the very last stitch, you're going to slip stitch, 3 half doubles and a slip stitch, and that's all you do all the way across. And then when you get to the top, you're working into the chain space, slip stitch, 2 half doubles, slip stitch, 2 half doubles, slip stitch, 2, all the way across. And in the very last top corner, work your corner with 3 half double crochets. So it's quite an easy stitch. It's just all these loose tails that need to be sewn in. Like I say, if you were doing it and you just wanted it one colour, you don't need to do that, and it's the same. So when you're starting your border, I like to start here in the last stitch here on the side and work across, work 3 half doubles, and then 2 half doubles all the way along, and it's the same. 2 half doubles, the corners get 3, and it leaves you with a beautiful and really quite simple pattern that looks beautiful with this like a waistcoat stitch in between the rows. So that was a granny cluster stitch. If you did enjoy that, please subscribe to the channel, please like this video, share it, follow me on social media, all the links are below, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye now.